Just your average everyday trucker, keeping it real. I'm your host, Chris Blodgett, and you're listening to Real Talk Tuesday.
This week's topic is going to be research before you invest. This is episode 132. Hey guys, welcome back. As always, appreciate you being here. The inspiration for this week's topic kind of comes from an experience I had this week. No, I did not invest in something. I actually, I was looking into it. I have, as you guys have been aware in the past, one of the businesses I do is a digital marketing business, or it's a course, a program called the Legacy Builder. Basically, what it includes is you get 4 programs with it. So basically, somebody could come in at the $900 level, and or $900, yeah, basically the $900 program, and they get all 4 courses. So you get the $900 Legacy course, a $600 digital mastery, I believe, $300 passive daily pay blueprint, and then a $100 that was called the launch pad. So if you come in at the $900 level, basically you get all 4. If you come in at the $600 passive daily pay blueprint, that one, you get that one plus the 300 plus the 100. Anybody that comes at the 300, they get the 300 and the 100. If somebody comes in and just does a launch pad, because of budget, which, it's understandable. I've had people that actually, basically went that route, they wanted to start learning how to do what I do. And so they paid the 100, basically came in and got access to that one. And any course you get, you basically have resale rights for it as well. So I recently kind of started because I've had my websites up. I left them up, didn't really, wasn't doing videos online for a while, but I had the websites up so that way I could still make sales. As all the videos I did for like 6 months, I was doing like 3 videos a day, because that's what they trained us, or that's what they taught us. So it's probably like 200 plus videos out there. I was uploading them to TikTok, uploading them to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, my Facebook business page, and then my blog. So basically, I've got tons of videos out there that people still can come across and they can still pretty much get directed to my site. I could still continue to build my email list, which when I kind of stopped being really active every day, my email list was at like 500 and something, like 510 leads. So, but I kind of took a break from it for a while. My email list really hasn't grown that much since, but still active, still able to do sales, whatever. But I know this, basically, so before I go on with that, anybody that wants to learn how to do it, basically we're all about like a 2-hour workday where you basically just, you learn how to spend 2 hours a day and what you have to do to pretty much start building your email list, start getting sales, whatever. Not really that hard. I mean, I was doing at least three short videos a day, and I would usually do a live. So you're talking like less than 2 hours. It didn't even take me 2 hours to do them. But, we got some really great people that we are on YouTube and TikTok and whatever that have like 60,000 followers and all that stuff. So I mean, there's some good people, some good content, some good people to really follow their lead. But with my trucking schedule, it's just really hard to really go full time into any kind of business because I just a lot of times don't have the time. but as business, it's pretty easy to do. But right now I'm having some issues with the Blodgett Show website. Is usually the web link I have because I created a redirect, an actual link on my podcast website for any of the extra things I do. So basically blodgettshow.com/freedom is usually where you go, and I'll get that fixed pretty soon. Right now when I log in, it's like website suspended. I'm like, crap, what the heck? So I'm working on that. But anybody that wants to actually check out basically check out my Legacy Builder website to see what it's all about. Basically, you just go to daily income 4 u.com. So daily income 4 you.com. It'll bring you to a page that basically will have my picture and a little bit of information about learn how to start making money using social media. It'll have a little email box where you just put your email address in there. That'll redirect you to another page. It'll show a video, and you'll see like the different courses. You'll see the different programs, starting with the 900 all the way down to the 100. And the great part about it is there's also payment plans available because it goes through my payment processor is actually through Square, and there's a payment plan option available for you. So if you do like the $900 Legacy Builder, that basically would break it down, and I did I believe 4 payments, I believe. So I think it's like $225, I believe. It's like, because you pay the first one up front, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and then it's like, so $225, $450, $675. So yeah, so it's like 4 payments of $225. You pay the first one up front, and then every 2 weeks after that, you just basically pay another $225. So basically, the great part about that is that you pay your first $225. Start going through the material to learn how to, basically, all the coaching, because basically it's all recorded videos. They're already set up, so you're not having to deal with an actual person. You're just watching videos that are already done, showing you what to do. And then you, let's say you do the $225, and within that first 2 weeks, let's say you make your first sale, and somebody comes in with you and buys the 900. You would you pay $225, and you would make that first 900 right off the bat. So before you'd even make your second payment on your payment plan, you would have already made your first sale. So like when I did it, I mean, I paid everything up front when I came in. I paid the full 900, and then like within my first couple of days, I made a $900 legacy sale, and then I made a launchpad sale. So I made a 900 and a 100 within my first probably 5 days. So I was like, oh wow, okay. I mean, literally, I woke up to an alert saying congratulations to me a $900 sale. I'm like, oh wow. And then the next day is like congratulations to me a $100 sale. I'm like, oh wow, cool, awesome. So it definitely works. Just gotta keep being active with it, or keep be consistent with it, I guess. So it's pretty awesome. But I'm connected. So basically, to get on to tonight's topic, the inspiration for this week kind of comes from somebody I'm connected with on Facebook. They have another digital marketing course, because there's a bunch of them out there. At least with Legacy, you get 4 programs, and you get a big community. You're not just getting a couple like slideshow slides, and you get coached on how to resell this course, but there's a lot of stuff you get with Legacy and stuff. There's you can learn how to do faceless marketing without where you're not putting your own face on video or whatever. And so this person I'm connected with, she had reached out. I had kind of requested info because I was curious. I'm always online looking for possibilities for things that I can possibly use to make money online and stuff. Mainly because I love my job, but I don't plan on doing it forever. And I'm definitely I'm an online entrepreneur. With this podcast, it's one of the things I'm planning to do eventually, is to figure out how to monetize it, get like advertisements on it, or sponsorships or whatever. So again, I've thrown that out in the past, but if you're listening to this and you're somebody who is knowledgeable in how to monetize or get sponsors or whatever, feel free to reach out. Let me know give me some tips, some advice on what to do. blogshowpodcast@gmail.com. But so this lady, I'd seen her Facebook posts for a while. I was kind of curious, so I was like, I commented and said, hey, I'm kind of curious on what you do. And so she kind of sent me her little slides or whatever, and she was telling me more info about it. I was like, all right, sounds good, sounds cool. Because like according to what information she sent me, it was like $600, it's like $595 on her stand store, on her online site where she sells it, just shy of $600. All right. I was like, well, I don't have it right now. Obviously I'll think about it, and if I'm able to get the money, I'll let you know. She said, all right, cool, sounds good. But of course, like, the funny thing was, like, I got this little lecture. Kind of a lot of times where I've talked to her, I've kind of got this lecture. She hasn't done it recently, because I've kind of explained quite a bit, like, so, well, I'll try to keep a little bit focused, I guess. But so, try to explain to her, like, hey, I've been around the block. It's not my first time looking into making money online. I've been, trying to figure this out for probably, I don't know, 7 years, maybe longer. Because I know when I was technically over the road with Schneider, I was trying to figure, actually before that even, like when we lived in Iowa, this is back before, probably back like early Facebook days, probably, Facebook had probably been around a couple years, was really, really new at that point. YouTube was, I think, pretty new at that point as well. I don't know how long YouTube's been around, but, I was trying to figure out, all right, like, how can I, make money from home, try to not have to go away and work a regular job, but actually just do stuff from home to actually support my family. And I think I had recorded videos on like one of those little old style like those camcorders, and then tried to figure out how to like upload them online to try to like, but problem is back then there wasn't really a whole lot of like opportunities online that you could basically do videos online, or there wasn't even podcasts as much back then, I don't think. But it was one of those, just something that like I'd been kind of looking into. And then I joined my first team back in like, I don't know, 2013 or something. Was like a part of this group on Facebook called the Infinite Freedom. The business they were promoting is still around. It was that Kangen water, water filters or whatever. So good company. Just expensive as hell. And it's like for the water filter system, it's like $5,000 or something. So I mean, it's good. You get like the high pH water. You basically work on your health, whatever. It's just expensive to get into, hard to promote. So the lady that lady I was talking to, she, I was trying to explain to her, because we're talking about like I was like, I don't have the money to do it, blah, blah, blah. And, of course I'm getting this little pep talk, like, well, like if you were really serious about this, Chris, like you'd find a way. Like I've had people that have found things around their house that they could sell to pay me thousands of dollars, whatever. And I'm like, that's great for them. I was like, we don't have a whole lot of stuff around the house that we could literally sell for thousands of dollars. Like, yeah, I have things I could sell for $50 here, $100 here, but I'd have to sell quite a few items, or sell things that we actually use. Like for instance, probably, yeah, I'd have my MacBook, could sell that, probably make $500 to $1,000 for that. But then it's like, all right, but things that I've paid off that I worked for. It's like, why, it's like, why, like, sell those off to get the money to be able to go into business when those items I actually need to do business in those opportunities. Now, yeah, we could sell, like, we have 2 TVs. We have one down here in the main room where I'm sitting out doing this recording. And we have one upstairs in what we call the game room, which is my oldest daughter's old room, because she moved out for about 2 years. And so we kind of got rid of everything in the room, turned it into a game room, basically with the couch. And we had a TV that was in me and my wife's room. We moved that in there, and basically we had moved the desktop computer in that room, and basically just kind of set it up as kind of like a hangout area, and then of course after 2 years, stuff fell apart up in Kansas, and my oldest daughter ended up moving back in. But we were like, well, we don't have a room for you or an actual bedroom, because your old bedroom has been the game room for the past like year and a half, whatever. But we have a dining room that we don't use, so that dining room kind of got converted into kind of like a bedroom. Like it's got like dividers, separating that room from in here, and then there's a little bit of a curtain on the little entryway going from that room into the kitchen. We have to go into her room a little bit because there's like a deep freeze chest freezer in that room, and so we because we didn't have anywhere else to put it, so we have to go in there for that. And the litter box for the cats, one of the litter boxes, is in that room, so she has her stuff in there, and the grandson has his toddler bed, he's in there. So but so basically I was being told by this lady or whatever, like, well, like, basically I was being told, well, when I was back like I've been doing this for 7 years, and like I basically, like, I used my bill money, and instead of paying it on bills, I used the money to invest in this course. Basically I started doing it, and it was a risk, but I took the chance, and I succeeded, and like I'm basically retired, living like I'm retired. I don't work a job. I'm home all day with the kids, doing what we want, blah blah blah. And I said, that's great for you. So it's like, and I kind of explained to her, I was like, look, like, I can't do that. I've done that before, because I mean, yeah, I still invest in stuff. I'm still actively working on basically being full-time retired, but too many obligations that I'm not willing to risk, because I was like, well, I've invested full, like really big amounts before, and basically then those opportunities didn't work out, and suddenly we were short on rent. We were struggling to put food on the table because literally it was almost an entire paycheck, and it was like, yeah, crap, So I'll invest, but I'm a lot more, either I'll put money aside to plan for it, so that way when I do invest, it's not coming out of the current check. It's set aside over a couple weeks or a month or whatever, and that way I can do what I gotta do, but still pay what I gotta pay down. But when I kind of explained that to her, it's like, well, obviously, like, the funny, here's the funny thing about having conversations with this chick. I'll kind of explain, like, yeah, I got, I can't just dump everything I bring in one week into this investment, because I was like, I'm already doing a digital marketing course or programs, got 4 programs with it, and like I've done it for like 6 or 8 months. I've got hundreds of videos out there, and basically told her, like, yeah, I've done some sales, I've built my email list, whatever. She basically like, well, I mean, you do better, you're just not doing it right. Like, I can coach you, I can tell you what to do, I can guide you, whatever. I'm like, that'd be great, but at the same time, it's not, I can't just justify a $600 investment like right off the bat, like, And so the funny thing was, after that conversation, I said, well, like, well, Chris, like, I don't think we'll talk about this anymore, because obviously, like, you're just not where you need to be mindset wise. Like, you're not where I was, where I was willing to invest bill money, and you're not willing to do that. Like, you're kind of you're playing it safe. And I'm like, I understand. And she goes, so we're just not going to talk about this anymore. I'm like, all right, cool, that's fine. Like, I have people that I'm connected with that are involved in random business opportunities online that I haven't jumped in with, but they don't just, well, we're not going to talk about this anymore, because obviously you're not in the right space mentally, and you're probably not going to do it because you're too scared. You're playing it safe. These other people I'm connected with, they're like, all right, cool, that's fine, and then after a little while they check, like, hey, just check it in to see how you're doing, blah blah blah. Have you had a chance to look at the videos I sent, or check out the information I sent you? And usually I'm like, I don't remember, like, can you send it to me again? And I need a refresher, and I'll look, like, oh yeah, I did check that out. It's not that I'm not interested, it's just a little bit too much to spend at the moment, but I'd be interested to talk to you about it. I'm like, oh, that'd be great, yeah. So they give me more information, we talk, whatever. This lady, though, it's like a lot of posts online about how too many people are losers, are working their jobs, going their 9 to 5s, struggling when they don't have to, blah blah blah. And I'm trying to help people out. Of course, that turns me off too, because I'm like, you're literally talking shit about people online because they're not in the position to be able to, like, dump $600 to join your join your course or whatever, to invest in your program. And so that turns me off, because it's like, if you're gonna talk crap about people online because they haven't invested with you, how is that gonna make them want to invest in you or invest with you? So but the funny thing was, like, after the whole, well, we're just not going to talk about it for a while, we're not going to talk about it because obviously you're just not ready. Like, you're not in the position yet where you are willing to take that risk, take that leap, because you got to make a change. Like, clearly you're not happy where you're at, like, you're struggling, whatever. You have to be the one to make it happen. I'm like, I understand that, I got that, So, but the funny thing is that I was there, that's fine, we don't have to talk about it, it's fine, because, like, obviously, like, I'm not in a position to where I feel comfortable dumping $600 to invest in your course, and you're shutting me down anyway. So I'm like, that's fine, obviously you don't want the sale because you're telling me, like, well, never mind, obviously you're not there, we're just not gonna worry about it. Okay, cool, I wish you the best. And there were a few after that conversation where I'd see posts that she would post on Facebook, basically just talking shit about people, like, oh yeah, people are just, they're complaining to me about their life, but they're not willing to do anything about it, blah blah blah, and a bunch of losers or whatever. And I would do random posts not mentioning her specifically, but basically like, hey guys, like, I like, a lot of us, we're doing the best we can, so like just keep doing what you're doing, keep pushing forward, keep getting back up every day and continuing to fight. As long as you fight, even though you haven't succeeded yet, we're not losers, guys. We got this. And again, of course, I guess she got that. She took that as, or when she saw that, she kind of, I guess, took that as I was talking about her, because she would literally message me directly like, I don't think you're a loser or whatever. And I was like, oh wow, okay. It was like, hey, how's it going? I'm surprised about your message. She was, I'm just saying, 'cause I saw your post and I know you work your ass off, whatever. And and so I would never call you a loser. I'm like, okay, well, I was like, I wasn't talking about you specifically. I was just saying in general, because I know there's a lot of people out here that are continuing to try to make it, and it's easier to give up than it is to keep fighting. She said, all right, I was just saying, I don't think you're a loser or whatever. And then, we'd stop talking for a little bit, and we'd talk again. And of course, she like, we'd start talking after she told me like, oh yeah, obviously you're still not in the right mindset, we're not going to talk, whatever. And then she'd reach out and like, so are you ready to invest yet? And I would just basically like LMAO, which is like, why, what's so funny? And I'm like, well, you keep telling me that we're not going to talk, like that, because I'm not willing to dump 600 right off the bat with you, then obviously, like, I'm just not in the right mindset, whatever, blah blah blah. And that, that we're just, basically like, you're kind of giving up on me. And then you come back and you're, hey, how's it going, blah blah blah. And so that's why I'm laughing, because you keep coming back. I was like, do you need the money? Like, what's going on? I mean, according to your post, you're making all this money and you're retired, whatever, but you're in my inbox asking me. Like, I'm not reaching out to her, she's asking me. And so it's like, that's one of the things that the way that I do my digital marketing business with Legacy is, and again, the information is free. I go to daily income, the number 4, and then YOU.com, and watch those couple of videos on there. And basically, like, it kind of explains everything on there. There's a bunch of information. And I've had people reply back to my emails, because there's emails already set up. Like, it shows you what to set up. So that way, anybody that wants you join the Legacy Builder or any of the other courses, anybody that comes through your website, they're getting these automated emails. Like, they get an email right away saying thank you for blah blah blah. And then every day it's like every set couple of days, like the first one's like maybe within 24 hours, and then within a couple of days they're getting these different emails sent out to them automatically. So it's automated, so you're not having to actually reach out to people, yourself, like all the time, like you can, but you don't have to. And even people would reach out a messenger and ask me questions, and of course, yeah, here you go, and I'd respond and answer the questions. And of course, they'd be like, thank you so much for answering my questions, I really appreciate your response. And I'm like, yeah, no problem, just let me know if you have any other questions, and I'll leave it at that. Or same with emails. They would email me like, hey, I have a question about the Legacy Builder. You get all 4 courses with that? I'm like, that's correct. Like what happens over here, or how does this go, blah blah blah. And I'd be like, well, you do this, and it's set up like this, and you have your guidance along the way. Like, you're not alone. Like, there's a community that you're a part of. But then, after emailing, thank you so much for answering all my questions. Like, sure, no problem. If there's anything else you want to know, if you need help with anything else, just let me know. If you need help getting started, let me know. But there are people that were also part of Legacy that actually, I got messaged by a couple of them too that were like, hey, Christopher, hey, where obviously they didn't know how, like, clearly you haven't seen my Facebook page or whatever, or my YouTube, or anything, because they message me, hey, blah blah blah, would you be interested in checking out the Legacy Builder program? I'm like, I'm already a part of it. Oh, so you would be interested in that? Like, is there anything I can do? Like, can I send you some videos? I'm like, ma'am, I'm already in that. Like that, I'm already doing that business. And then I followed up with, and by the way, like, you're doing it wrong. Like, this is not what they teach you in the community. You're not supposed to be messaging people directly and trying to get them to buy. Like, you send them to your site. The site basically has all the videos, all the educational stuff, and then of course, like, once they join, they have the video guidance that shows them step by step what to do. I'm like, so if you're deliberately getting in people's inboxes and trying to get them to buy your course, and yeah, I mean, maybe you might be successful with it, but at the same time, it's like, that's not how it's set up. Like, so that's why I kind of get a kick out of this lady I'm connected with, that every so often will message me like, so you ready to buy yet? Are you ready to invest? And I'm like, nope, not yet. And at one point we went back and forth because she talked about, like, 'cause you're in a dead-end job, like you struggle every day working your dead-end job. And I was like, so I was like, just letting you know, like, I'm a trucker. Like, I was a contractor for a while, was making payments on my own truck. Been a company driver for the past 4 or 5 years. I was like, it's not a dead-end job. I was like, actually, I make really good money. I've had I've had a lot of occasions where I've had the 600 to technically invest in your program, but I haven't been able to say, yeah, I should definitely do this right now, because I'm a lot more, I would say I'm a lot more gun shy with all the stuff I've been through. I'm like, I will invest in stuff, but I'm not gonna just jump in. I gotta, it might sound good, but I'll research it a little bit, or I'll send the information to my bro Ricco, and basically be like, hey man, I'm looking into this, tell me what you think, and he'll be like, yeah, I found such and such, or yeah bro, it sounds like a scam, like everything I found about it says it's a scam. Or there's times I've sent him stuff from, like, I'm thinking of investing in this program to give it a shot, can you check it out, see what you can find, and let me know if you think it's a good idea. And he'll message back like, yeah, actually, I haven't found anything bad about it, so if you want to give it a shot, let me know how it goes, and I might jump in with you afterwards. I'm like, well, that's cool, Apologies for the brief pauses during the tonight's episode, because enjoying my drinks, so I stop every little bit to take another swig. But because it's, hey, my day off, I go back to work tomorrow, so I had to kind of set her straight on that, because it's like, I was like, I get it. Like, a lot of people are working, like, clock-in hourly jobs where they're working by the hour. They might be making like 10 or 15 bucks an hour, and yeah, those are pretty much, a lot of those, even if you're making 20 bucks an hour, a lot of those you're still kind of stuck in a glass ceiling. Like my wife, she loves her job, she's great at it. She is literally that restaurant's pastry chef, but they won't put her at salary, and the bosses, from what I understand, even though normally out in the past I've been like, hey guys, if you come in town in Nashville, check out the Mockingbird, go eat there. But I'm like, yeah, I mean, you're welcome to go for it, the food is great, but lately she's been kind of dealing with some stuff with her bosses. They've kind of been treating her, for lack of a better term, kind of been asses to her, kind of, like, she's very respectful when she's on the job, and I guess, but she didn't tell them what they wanted to hear, so of course she got told, that was not respectful enough, and we will be respected, we demand respect. It's like, if you have to demand respect, then you're probably not going to get respect, if you're treating people like that. So we're both actively, we're wanting to make a change anyway, maybe possibly relocate, whatever, especially because, like, the last 2 months for me, I haven't actually worked a full week in the past 2 months. Hell, last week I think I lost 2 days. I lost Wednesday and Friday. I always get the comments from my boss like, well, if you be available on Sunday or Monday, I'm like, yeah, but those are my official days off. And personally, on my actual days off, I'm not stressing all day because I'm off. I'm like, cool, I'm just gonna hang with the fam, get my drinks, whatever. But when I'm off on a day I'm supposed to work, I'm stressed all day going, so am I working? Am I not working? What's going on? And a lot of those nights, I just don't hear shit, So, so it's like, then the next day I kind of messaged my boss, like, so I guess nobody worked. Like, we were light last night. He was, yeah, only so-and-so worked. I'm like, okay. Then. But it's like, but I know as a manager, he's probably getting paid for, on the days that even if we're not working, he's probably still getting paid that day. So it's like, yeah, it must be nice to just, get paid to do your job. And then those of us that are we're the main drivers, we just sit at home and don't get paid for the day. It's like, well, crap, try to pay the bills and struggling. But hey, that's why I updated my Legacy Builder site, and to make sure everything's working. I've resumed sending out emails and resumed building my email list, and I'm like, well, it's, you gotta at least be working, working towards something. Like, you gotta be making strides towards what you're trying to accomplish. Otherwise, you're just kind of stagnant, or you give up. And I'm like, well, I'm not planning to give up, but I'm not planning to just stay where I'm at. Because who knows when things are going to pick back up with FedEx, with my current job or whatever. So it's like, could be next month, could be 2 months, could be this way for a while, which is weird because it's Thursday and Friday are usually the slow days lately. But last week it was like I didn't work Wednesday, but then I worked Thursday, but then I didn't hear shit Friday, and then I was back. Then I was working again Saturday, but then I was off my regular days on Sunday, Monday. And then of course a lot of things that my boss tells me that don't actually end up, hell, I've been being told for the past 2 months that my truck is going to go in the shop, and yet I've been kind of slip-seating in my truck with this other guy, this other driver, a Bingham or whatever. He's an okay enough dude, but the other problem is, like, a lot of things changed in my truck whenever I get back in. Like, the vents are all closed, the sound's off on the Qualcomm on the truck computer. He's got the visors down, which he leaves the seat on the floor, so he's a short guy too. Leaves the seats on the floor, so he's like down really low, and I'm like, the visor where they're put down at, I'm like, there's no way that blocks the sun. And so I'm like, I have a feeling he puts the visors down where he does to like mess with the camera, so that way it doesn't have a full, like a clear view of him. Smart move, I guess. But the camera is AI as well, so if it's blocked, because I had to actually put the visor down because I'm blinded by the sun like 7 a.m. and the AI camera literally, I don't, usually I'm listening to a podcast, so I don't fully hear it, but based on what I hear, I think it sounds like it's saying like view obstructed. So like, I can't see you, driver. Like, yeah, it's because like I can't see if I don't have the visor down, because I'm literally driving into the sun right now. So when the sun clears, I'll put it back up. So, but anyway, back to tonight's topic a little bit. So I'll deal with this chick or whatever, and she had reached out this past week. I said, "Hey, are you able to come in yet?" And I was like, "No, not yet." And I was like, she was, "Well, if you want to try the payment plan option, and see." And I was like, "Well, I don't think I'll get approved, but I mean, I could try." And she's like, "Yeah, just try it. Let me know what it says." I'm like, "All right, cool." Because she had like Klarna and Afterpay on there. So I was like, "All right, I'll give it a shot." So I was like, "Well, Afterpay, I have a previous debt with them, so I got to pay that." Funny thing, it's only like $15, but I think the account I had with that one, I think it was like a $75 balance, and I paid it down to like 15, and then of course, like, I still owe 15 for a while. I just haven't gotten around to paying it off. It's on my list, but highly doubt I don't think I get approved with Afterpay for like a $600 purchase. So, but Klarna, it's weird. Klarna, when you try to do the hey, make this payment monthly for this many months, I go through the different options, and of course, the first option, yep, sorry, you're not approved, and then that one disappears. Go to the next one, this much bi-weekly for this many months, that one disappears. Go to the next one up, this much bi-weekly, that one disappears. And then it's like, all right, so you pay, if you can pay this one every two weeks, but you pay like the first payment right now. Like if it's like 500, let's say it's 600, you pay like 125 every 2 weeks for 2 months. But you pay the first payment up front. I'm like, well, that makes sense because you pay the first payment and then you pay a bi-weekly payment. And so I thought that I'd probably be able to do that one. But I didn't. I never tried it. And so she messaged me saying, well, if you're willing to give it a shot, like if you get approved, I could actually send you the money for that first payment, and then you just pay the remaining part, and I'm still gonna profit on it. Because she when I went onto her site, I noticed that I'd seen posts on her page about like, yeah, the price is gonna go up in a month, so get with me, blah blah blah. And so, but I hadn't really kept up with it. Hadn't really like kept tabs on it. As far as I knew, she was still charging like $5.95 for her course. But when I went to her site, I noticed that it said 1,000. I'm like, oh, it went up. Okay. She was, yeah, all right. So I was like, based on what it looked like I was the only option I had was I could pay like $250 up front and then pay $250, like 3 payments of $250, like every 2 weeks. Well, but she was like, yeah, I'll send you the money to cover that first payment, because I'll still come out. I'm still gonna profit on it, I was like, all right, Hell, we even at one point, because she's like, well, I still want to be able to make my 1,000, so I might bump the price up and then send you the. So she bumped up to like 1,300 something, and so the first payment was gonna be like 300 something, and then 347 every 2 weeks for like 3 payments. She's like, well, because I'll pay the first payment, and then that way, if you'll just pay the 3 other payments, I'll still make the 1,000. I'm like, all right. I mean, I could live with that. I was like, if you're willing to pay the first payment, and I don't have to come out of pocket right away, I can go ahead. And this is when I was off, I believe, Friday night, and actually, I mean, I was off Friday night, and I think it was Saturday when I was talking to her, and Saturdays I've been pretty consistent lately, where I've been running at least on Saturday. Just during the week it's been kind of hit or miss. But so I was like, I can Cash App you, whatever. And I'm like, well, can you Venmo? Because that's, I have that. I do have Cash App, but I do Venmo a lot more often. But I also have Chime, a PayPal, whatever. She goes, no, I have Venmo. I'm like, all right, cool. So I was like, yeah, it looks like I could pay the $347 up front and pay bi-weekly. She's like, all right, cool. Hold on, I'm gonna Venmo you that money. So she sent me the $347. I'm like, all right. She goes, go ahead and go on there and try to do it, because I'll get the full, because apparently when you do the payment plan option, like you pay. That's the other thing that I like about, even with what I have with on my site. If somebody does a payment plan option, they'll pay that first payment, like the $250 or $225 towards the $900, and they'll be able to pay every 2 weeks. But like I'll get a full. When I make that sale, I'll get the full sale, like the $900 sale, and I'll make that full $900 up front. But the customer will be able to break that payment down, which it's like a win-win on both sides, because somebody could become a customer of mine, and I'll make the full payment, but they could break it down and not have to pay as much up front and break it down to smaller payments. Same thing with this lady's site. She's like, I'll get paid the full thing up front, so like I'm still gonna come out ahead. So I'm cool with it. I'm like, all right, if you're cool with that, we can give it a shot. So she Venmo'd me the $347 or whatever it was, I went onto her site, went to go ahead and try to do the purchase. She's like, I could have you making money within the next 2 weeks. I'm like, all right, I was like, basically when you say, hey, I'm going to send you the first payment, that way you don't have to come out of pocket, and I'm still going to make money with it, and I'll help you get started, blah blah blah. All right, well, I'll give it a shot. So I went on the site. I started to go through the purchase process. I put in my card, went to do the first payment, and of course it said, I'm sorry, you're not approved for this payment plan. You have to pay the full $1,300 up front. I'm like, well, fuck. All right, that sucks. Took a screenshot and I forwarded it to her, and she goes, well, crap. Because when I sent that to her, I sent her money back to her. I'm not gonna lie, like the thought crossed my mind. I was like, I could, like, if I was an ass or a scammer, I could have totally been like, I'm gonna block her and keep her money. But I was like, no, I'm not that. It's not how I am. I'm all about like being honest. Keep it real, no bullshit, whatever. So literally, like before I even sent her the screenshot, I sent her the money back, and on the description for Venmo, I basically said refund. And then I sent her the screenshot of what it said. I have to pay the full $1,300 up front. And I said, well, I don't know why it's not letting me do this, but it basically denied that and said I'd have to pay the $1,300 up front. So, I sent your money back. She goes, oh crap. Well, at least we tried. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. And part of me, when I sent the money back, I said, I hope she can appreciate the fact that I did send her money back and I didn't just keep it. Because don't get me wrong, like the $340 or whatever would definitely have come in handy or whatever. But I was like, nope, try to, it's all about trust or whatever. So to kind of get a little bit more into tonight's topic, coming to the end of this episode or whatever. After that experience, I had within the last couple of days, I kind of went on to Google and basically kind of did a little bit of a search about that course, about that program, which is like MWA or something. I might have that wrong, but I think it's like MWA is the acronym for it, or the shortened, And I was like, is it a scam? Blah blah blah. I found some TikTok videos praising it, whatever. Like, oh my god, this is great. I do really well. Blah blah blah. But all right, well, cool. It's like, and there's some, obviously there's some sites it's a scam, but a lot of them are like, yeah, as long as you put in the work, you know what to do. Blah blah blah. You can do really well. But here's the funny thing, though. Some of the sites I found online talking about it, like, oh yeah, it's a $495 course, blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, that's interesting, because ever since I've been interacting with this lady online, she's had it listed for $595. And then you'll see every so often she'll do a post where she's like, just for today only, $100 off. And I'm like, makes you think like, oh cool, she's offered like $100 off. It's a great deal, right? But I'm like, but if the course itself is still like, if you get the course at regular price, if it's still $495, she's always charging more for it anyway. And I'm like, and now she's charging $1,000. So it's like, people, if they're gonna get the master resale rights for this course, they would pay her $1,000, and maybe they'd go try to sell it for $1,000 as well, because I think that's the normal price. But then they'd probably struggle and not make any money because they bought it for $1,000. But people can then research and find out that, well, it's actually only worth $500. Why would I pay $1,000 for it? So basically, I was telling my bro Ricco about it, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of what I found out. It looks like that course is actually $495, but she was selling, her normal price was $595, with every so often offering the $100 off. But now she's charging $1,000 for it. I think I'd refreshed her Stand store at one point that her freaking price showed $1,300. I was like, she has other things she offers too, like some digital marketing or some e-commerce stuff or whatever, like material, educational stuff, whatever, or coaching stuff, and I'm like, how much are you overcharging on all those? And I noticed some of her posts about like you don't need a huge following and blah blah blah, and this is why I love what I do because I've been doing this for 7 years, and like another $1,000 a day, blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's great, but it's one of those, when it comes to one of the things I've learned online is in order to get people to join your business, there's a note that's called the know, like, and trust. They have to know you, they have to like you, and they have to trust you. I know her kind of, even though I don't know her personally, because she and I aren't exactly like, I've only known her from Facebook. Like, we met online. We don't talk all the time, and I would say that kind of like her a little bit, but I wouldn't say that I was like not a huge like there, mainly because, again, like some of the posts that she's done where it's like she's basically talking shit about people because they don't join her, and well, clearly they have a bad mindset. They're not willing to. They're just want to keep struggling. I'm like, well, yeah, like you're not there's been some opportunities out there where I'm like, where they come at you like, hey, or they're true scams. Like, hey, if you pay $200, you'll make $1,000. And I'm like, well, I come at them like, well, can I make $1,000, but take the 200 out of that 1,000? Like, can we do whatever we do to get that 1,000, but just deduct what the initial? No, we need the 200 up front, and then you get the 1,000. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just not, that just doesn't sound legit. Especially, something like, oh, we're just gonna turn 200 into 1,000. Like, yeah, so got to be careful with scams out there, guys, because people will just be like, hey, all you do is just commit this much. I'm like, no. But very, very important to just do your research. Like, if follow your, trust your, like, I guess one of the big things I would recommend is just trust your gut. Like, just if you have doubts about something, listen to that. People say that, oh, you're just being scared and you're just being too cautious, whatever. You're like, you need to be, like, you got to be an action taker. Yeah, that's true to a point. Like, yes, I mean, it's like, there's nothing wrong with being an action taker, especially if you have money, just disposable income, that it's not going to hurt you if you invest it. Like when I came in with the Legacy Builder, I had come across it. I had, when I came across it was probably like a week before I actually jumped in. But I had some extra money coming in. I had a bonus from work, and I had a couple of things. I had like a really good paycheck, plus I had a bonus. And so I was able to put like money aside for 2 weeks, and I planned ahead. And I basically was like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go all in. People are like, oh, you should come in with like the $100 level. Like my, a friend of mine, Sabrina, she's a great lady or whatever, great friend. But very, very, very cautious, which, hey, nothing wrong with that. Because I said, yeah, I'm going to do it. Because she told me about it. She directed me to the person I came in with. But I was like, I'm going to do it, and I was like, are you going to go in? Because I'd rather come in under, like, obviously I'll join you. Like, you'll get my payment if you join. Otherwise, I'm going to go in under her and she'll make my money. And she's like, well, no, like I can't, I'm really, really hesitant to drop $900 to go in and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and go in with Tara because, she seems like a pretty good chick or whatever, pretty good, business person. And, she literally doesn't work a job. Like, she's literally self-employed. That's all she does. And so it's like, I'm always saying, or one of my big sayings is, if you want the results that somebody else has, follow them and do what they do. So if somebody is working a job, but they're in like 20 different businesses, and they're trying to give you advice and stuff, but like they're not where they want to be, and they're definitely not where you want to be, then they're probably not, like, somebody great to like, oh, I'm gonna follow them because like they can get me there. It's like, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I will get there. But So I came in under this lady, that I now call my mentor with the legacy builder, Tara. And it's funny because, Tara had set up a group chat with me, her, and Sabrina, because Sabrina was going to come in. She was talking about it. I'd already paid the money, and I started doing the training and started to, do what started doing the videos, and I got those first couple sales, made 1,000 my first week. And Sabrina was a little pissed off because she's like she made the money after sale. Technically that would have gone to me, because, I would have got but now, and I even told Sabrina, I was like, hell, if you come in at Legacy Builder with me, since I came in before you, if you come in with me, after I make that $900 sale, I'll refund half of it back to you. So I'll give you back $450. So we'll both technically, it'll be $450 for me, and she'll only pay $450 to come in at the $900 level. Try to appeal to her, hey, I understand, you're not going to make the full $900 if I came in under you, but if you join and we work together on this, whatever, I'll try to make it easier on you. That sounds great. I'll think about it, whatever. But of course, she's like, well, I still can't justify it, whatever. All right, that's fine, She even in the chat was talking to Tara about I should make a bonus because technically you wouldn't have gotten that sale if I hadn't directed Chris to you. And of course, Tara was like, well, I mean, if you come in, I'll give you a $300 bonus. I don't know if she ever made that money from her because Sabrina never came in, so I don't think Tara ever just gave her the money. I think it was hey, if you join, I'll give you this bonus back or whatever. So I kind of joked with her. I was like, look, you'd almost not pay anything because if you joined me, Tara would give you that $300 bonus. I'd give you $450 back towards your $900, so you'd pay $750. You get $750 back out of the $900, so you'd only pay $150 to join the $900 Legacy Builder and have four programs that you'd be a part of. But she still never did it, She joins other things. I think something recently she joined with some kind of happy pill or something that I'm she told me about it. She goes, here's the video, why don't you check it out, blah blah blah. And I'm thinking yeah, I'm really not, I'm really not interested in the random stuff, because a lot of things she's done is the small, hey, you can make $20 here, you can make $50 here. It's the Sophie promotions where you can get new Sophie bank referrals and make $50. And I'm just you know what? I'm not really interested in constantly promoting to make a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm trying to retire myself eventually. And so whatever I can do to bring in the life-changing income, that's what I'm after. That's what I'm working towards. Now, I know it's not going to be really quick, so it's it's going to take time, But, so yeah, so basically back to the topic, and to kind of conclude this episode a little bit. Basically, I think there's a saying that says, if in doubt, wait it out. And of course we use that saying for driving, because if you're trying to pull out of for instance the apartment complex here, my oldest daughter, she still Ubers, she doesn't drive yet, and she's I'm really hesitant to because I'm kind of scared about trying to pull out of the apartment complex because it's very busy on that street. I'm yeah, well, there's a saying I use, if in doubt, wait it out. So if you're there and you're trying to turn left across a couple lanes of traffic, but there's a bunch of cars from both directions and you don't know if you can make it out, then sit there and wait. Who cares if you got 10 cars behind you? If you don't think you can pull out safely and make it across, and then wait. Wait until you have a big enough gap that you can pull out safely and you can do it. But I guess that if in doubt, wait it out goes towards investment opportunities as well, because don't just dump your money into stuff and hope for the best, and especially don't dump your money into stuff or invest or whatever unless you know that you have the time and the energy and the mental capacity to actually do what you have to do to put forth the effort. That's one of the other things I told the lady that sell the course for $1,000, that I think, pretty sure it's $500. is what the normal price is. But I had kind of told her, I said, it's not that, I was like, my job is good. I've had the money to come in. I was like, but I told her, I said, I just don't have the time to commit, like to do what I have to do to learn something new and to do what you teach me or whatever. And I said, plus just dealing with a bunch of stuff mentally, that I don't have the mental capacity, the bandwidth or whatever to be committed. I was like, I don't want to pay the money and then not do the work. I was like, if I'm going to pay the money, I want to be physically and mentally able to do the work so I can be working towards hopefully the success I'm after. And of course it was like, well, I basically live like I'm retired and like we don't work every day. And I'm like, I hear you, but there's still times like where you have to like do what they call trying to think what the term is, like content batching is what I think it's called, where you basically you take a day and you create a bunch of content and then you schedule that content to be uploaded, to be posted over the course of like the next couple weeks, which makes sense. But I'm like, yeah, but I would still have to have one day where I would spend the entire day or a couple hours that day basically creating a bunch of content to then upload. And I'm actually probably gonna go that route now that I'm trying to, basically getting back active with the Legacy Builder program. I'm gonna switch things up a little bit. I'm gonna create a Instagram channel or Instagram page specifically for my Legacy Builder, my digital marketing business, instead of doing it on my main page or whatever. And try to figure out how to content batch and start working on. Basically, I'm figuring I'm going to do it a little bit differently than what I did before, because I made sales before, but it wasn't anywhere near what I was hoping. But my videos were longer. I was taught basically anywhere between 30 seconds and a minute and a half long videos. But according to the lady that's selling a different course for $1,000, she was saying that it has to be like 7-second videos, like very short videos. I'm like, okay. I don't want to pay her to do her course to learn how to get taught by her, because I know I'd have to pay her to basically try to pick her brain and be like, all right, well, if you're supposedly making all this money, like what, like, can you look? I even said like, hey, can you look at my site and give me pointers? Like, I'm not gonna ask you to coach because I know you charge for that, but if you give me some advice a little bit here, that'd be great. But she was like, no, I can't. Okay, that's fine. I was like, I'm not willing to pay $1,000 for guidance on something that I could probably work on myself. It might just take me longer, but hey, So on that note, guys, just basically be careful. Just research. If you're unsure about something, just go and do a search on it. Find out if what you're being pitched actually costs that amount, like the dollar amount that you're being pitched. That's actually what it charges, what it costs, or whatever. And that way, okay, cool. Like they're actually charging what this course costs. Like they're charging $500. Okay, it's showing online $500, but if they're showing like $1,200 or $1,000 or $1,500, and it's like a $500 business that you're looking at, it's like, all right, why are they charging double for that? Like, why would I, because, and if people are paying that, then yeah, she's making money, but the people that are buying the course are technically getting screwed, in my opinion. I almost did a post on Facebook, kind of like a indirect, like, hey guys, if you kind of like what I'm talking about right here, but I figure probably a better idea to talk about it on a podcast episode than to just post publicly on social media, because I probably hear from her like, why are you talking about it? Well, at least here I'm not mentioning names or whatever, just giving you guys some educational stuff, so be careful out there, do your research, check into stuff. There's a big saying out there: never invest money that you can't afford to lose. So if you need, don't invest, don't do what she bragged about with me, like, oh, I invested bill money. Okay, that's not something to brag about, because a lot of people do that. A lot of people get screwed. So if the only money you have is actually reserved for paying like your light bill or your rent or your car payment, don't take the risk and invest that money hoping that you can succeed at a business or an online opportunity of any kind with money that you need for other stuff. Like if you're looking at investing in something, put the money aside for it. Plan ahead. That's why, like, if you go to my legacy builder program, dailyincomeforyou.com, daily income, the number 4, YOU.com. Put your email in there, and doesn't cost you anything for the information. It's free. Basically, just watch the videos, look at the page. And again, like I said, like, you don't have to pay the full $900 up front. It's like 4 payments of $225, and I think the payment plans go all the way down to the $300 course. So it'll be like, I think it's like 55. Let's see, 300 divided by 4. Probably like 75 dollars, I think. Like 4 payments of $75 for the $300 one. The $100 launch pad, I think that one, there's no payment plan. It's $100 to get started for that one. But that's why I love the payment plan options for $300 and above, because you can get started and not have to pay the full amount. So that's kind of my way of trying to, any new customers that I bring in that want to actually learn how to do what I'm doing, they can get started without having to pay the full thing up front, But just do your research. Just check things out, If you're uncertain, or again, like if you have an email address for somebody you're looking at or whatever, just ask questions, So anyway, y'all, I'm going to close it out now. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Sorry it went a little bit longer than I anticipated, but every week it's like I get to like the end of Monday night, and the wife goes upstairs to go to bed, and like the oldest is already up there, technically in the game room, passed out, because she doesn't have an actual like a bed down here. She had technically one on the floor, but she has to get like a frame and make it official, but the youngest will be up there asleep. Alex, or my grandson, will be asleep, and I'm like, all right, gotta pull out the condenser mic and my computer and go ahead and hop on here and get the weekly episode recorded. So, and hopefully sooner rather than later, I'll get I'll be able to get some stories, start writing the stories again and getting those Story Time Friday episodes recorded. But you know what I always say, keep pushing forward, keep believing. Believe you can, believe you will, and you're already halfway there. And then you just have to go out there and do it. But as always, guys, I appreciate you being here with me this week. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And as always, I will talk to you guys on the next episode. You guys have a good one.